Hey, I'm Rob from JTRpodcast.com, and this is the Shipwreck Arcana. It's a co-op deduction game, and it says, trapped in a drowned world, you and your allies are doomed, or are you? Using a mystical deck and a healthy dose of logic, can you predict each other's fates and escape unscathed? So what you have here, you have this card. It's called the Hours card, and you have a green and red token on it. The red token starts on 2. I think that changes depending on the difficulty. We played normal, so it starts on 2 doom, and the green score tracker starts at 0. Then there are these white cards. These are the Arcana cards, and you shuffle the deck and you place the deck face up and you lay 4 of those cards out. And everyone's going to have a set of these tokens numbered 1 to 7. And there is a bag containing black tokens called Fate tokens. There are 21 in there. There are 3 of each of numbers 1 through to 7. And you choose a starting player and the game begins. And the start player is going to pull 2 tokens out of the bag. Obviously they're numbered 1 to 7, so they're going to get 2 numbers. And what they need to do is put one of those numbers on the card in the middle of the table. And what that's going to try and do is give us a clue as to what number's in their hand. If we guess it and we get it right, then we can move our score tracker forward. For example, this card here, the Huntress, says if one of your fates is exactly 2 more or 2 less than the other, play one of them here. So if you played a 3 on that token, we know that the fate in your hand is either a 1 or a 5, and that's sort of how you work it out. And you get them to flip their tokens in front of them face down, so you sort of eliminated what they are, or what you think they might be. And so after a bit of discussion from the other players, the player who played the fate token obviously can't join in the discussion. They've got to keep quiet and keep the poker face going. But everyone else can have a discussion what number they think it is, and then they can make a prediction if they like. They can say, we predict your fate is, and then you'll say like 5 or whatever it is, and they'll let you know if they're right or wrong. But you don't have to make a prediction. If you don't make a prediction, you just see if any of those cards in the middle fade, but we'll get back to that, because if you do make a prediction, then the person will tell you whether you're right or wrong. And you go to the resolve step, we're going to work that out. So what happens is, if it's correct, they are freed from their fate, and everyone scores a point, so you'll move the green tracker up 1. If they're wrong, the doom advances 1. Anytime you make a prediction, the second fate token you've got in your possession goes back in the bag, and then you go to the fade action that I spoke about earlier. And what you do here is you're going to see if any of the Arcana cards fade. What you're looking at is the number of pips on all of the tokens on that card, and do they equal or exceed the number of moon symbols on the bottom of that card, then it will fade. What you do is you discard all the fate tokens off that card back into the bag, you flip it face over in front of you and it goes into a separate area of the board. And if you didn't make a correct prediction that turn, you move the doom counter forward 2 spaces. And then you take the top card of the Arcana deck and refill the row back up to 4. Then those faded cards become powers that you can use to help you out. For example, this one says Cycle, and what you can do with that is you can discard one of the Arcana cards in play that hasn't got any fate tokens on it, and use the top one from the deck. Remember, the deck's face up, so you know which cards come in. It might just help you out more and be able to give more of a clue about which fate's in your hand and be able to help players out more. So yeah, play continues clockwise. The problem comes then when if you don't predict somebody, or don't make a prediction, they've got some information. As I said earlier, maybe you've flipped over 5 of the numbers and you've got it narrowed down to 1 or a 5. When it comes back around to them, they'll draw 1 more fate, and then they'll play a fate into the middle of the table again onto an Arcana card, but you don't know if it's the one they had previously or whether it's the one they've just drew out the bag. So you need to keep in mind which one it could be. Again, flipping down their tokens helps if you did that on the last round, because they've got plenty of information, but it's not guaranteed to be correct, so there is that. And play continues, and if you get to 7 points first, you win. If the doom gets to 7 points first, you all lose. And it's a very fun game. It's a very interesting deduction game. I think you need to use the powers a lot better. I could have helped a lot. I could have used a power at one point in order to nail down my fate down to a single number that it had to be. It would have helped them out. It was something like, if it's higher than my fate is higher than this number, and my number I had was a 6 because I had a 7 in my hand, so I could have easily shown that I had a 7 in my hand, but I didn't read the power card properly because I was still taking the game in a bit. I think this game's all about timing as well. It's all about timing when you fade an Arcana card out and when you make a prediction. If you make a correct prediction and an Arcana card fades, the doom track doesn't move forward, so you need to make sure that you're sort of fading a card and at the same time as people are going to predict your fate in order to move your mark a forward one and not move the Doom token forward. And it is very clever. It's a really nice game. It's got great artwork. It's got nice components. The tiles are really nice. The token's nice. The cards are nice. It's all really good in a tiny little box. I've never heard of Mirrormorph Games. I've never heard of Kevin and Matthew Bishop. But well done. I will be looking for your stuff. You are now on my radar. Congratulations. Yeah, definitely if you give this a go, if you think it's a game you'll like, that is the Shipwreck Arcana. Have you played this game? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like, share and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at JTR Podcast to find the blog and podcast at jtrpodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka Jesta ThaRogue, and I'll see you soon.